Hello and welcome to Just Vintage Crochet, and today we are going to learn how to do filet crochet. So whether this is a first lesson for you or just a simple refresher course, we're just going to learn the basics of filet crochet and how to read a filet pattern. And the reason this is so important is because so many vintage patterns are done strictly in filet crochet. I almost said valet crochet in filet crochet. So here is the pattern that I am working with. Of course, I'm only going to show you the first 10 rows. After that, you're on your own. And if you want this pattern, it is available in my Etsy shop. 7 cotton. I don't have a clue how much of this I need. Not a clue. I won't know until the end. I have to just keep buying yarn along the way. And I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook. With filet crochet, you do want to use a hook. And if you're going to be using yarn, that is, you want to use a hook that's about 1.5 sizes to 2 sizes smaller than what the yarn asks for, so that you can get tight stitches and clear, crisp definition of your picture. So, like I said, this pattern, I'm going to show you the first 10 rows of it. Isn't it gorgeous? I need this to be a bedspread in my life. I'm only going to show you the first 10 rows, but after the first 10 rows, you're going to have the filet crochet pattern reading techniques completely down. So one thing I highly recommend when working with a filet crochet pattern, whether you are a beginner or experienced, is to just go through and write everything down so that you don't miss anything, because if you just follow it with the blocks, there is a almost certain chance you're going to miss something, because your eyes are going to get crossed and you're not going to know, oh, was I just here or am I here? And it just becomes a mess. So as you can see, when you get into the tail and when you get into the portion of the bird's body, it is speckled and all over the place. So I find it to be virtually vital to write each row down. As you can see, I have written down row 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course up here I have BL means blocks, SP means space, and that's how you're going to read the pattern. 2 blocks, 8 spaces. 2 blocks, 8 spaces. The video is going to teach you how to make a block and make a space. It's not as easy as it looks. It is easy, but it's not as simple as it looks. There's a little bit of complication to it, but I'll break it all down really easy for you. The best way to keep track, I have found, we all have our own techniques, but I have found the best way for me to keep track of what row I'm on. Not only do I have the sides shaded in, so as you can see, I've written the pattern up for myself up to the 19th row. I still have to do row 19. But I just take a piece of paper with a couple of pieces of tape or sticky notes, and I just do this. There we go. And then whenever I'm ready to move up to the next row, I just move up. And the shaded portion, what I'll do is I'll shade this portion in before I start writing it out. That way, whenever I move up and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, where was I? And then I don't have to sit there and count all the way up. I just look at the shaded portion and I go, oh, that was the last row I did, so my marker goes right here. Okay, I hope that was easy for you to see. Just like that. And then I'll shade that in, and then the next time I need to move up, I move up to just above the shaded portion. Now I'm 2 rows above my shaded portion. So the shaded out portion really, really helps you remember where you're at. Just shade it in with your pencil, and I would use a pencil, not a pen. You're gonna need to erase things. I've had to correct many rows of this several times, because as you read these little squares, your eyes will cross. So always use a pencil with filet crochet. Now, yes, I highly recommend writing everything down. I like to write out 10 rows at a time the night before or the full day before, and then the next day I'll work on it. Now in the video, you're gonna see me working with a different yarn. I started off with the Bernat Baby Sport Weight, and I hated the way the texture of it was turning out as far as for a bedspread goes and all that. So with this cotton, it's much heavier, it's much drapier, but here's how it's turning out so far. Really, really nice. So one more time, you will be able to find a link to the pattern in my Etsy shop in the description box down below if you want to work along with me the first 10 rows and then carry on from there. This is going to be a stunning bedspread. Measurements. So if you use the recommended thread, It's going to be 28 inches wide, or just over 28 inches wide. I'd almost say 29 inches wide by 44 inches long. But if you want to make it a bedspread, like I'm doing with the 3.5 millimeter hook and the sport weight cotton yarn, it's going to be around 90 to 95 inches wide. I don't have a clue how long. I've never made this into a bedspread. I'm literally just making this for myself and decided to make a how to fillet crochet for those who want to learn. So it'll be about 90 to 95 inches wide, and it's going to fit roughly a queen size. So that's how that is working out for me. And oh man, I cannot wait until this is done. Okay, so let's get right into the instructions. You have the materials, information that you need, and hook information that you need. The link to the pattern is down below if you want to get this pattern, or just watch if you simply want to learn how to fillet crochet or need a refresher on how to fillet crochet. The stacked single crochet. So you just kind of give yourself a teeny little bit of slack on your thread here and turn without chaining one. Go into that double crochet that you just made, the last one you made, and pull up a loop and work a single crochet. Now you will see that you have got two on the side of the stitch here. You've got two bars. Here is the top of your stitch right here. But we're working on the side. You'll see that you got two bars. This bar right here is called the forward bar, the forward stitch. That's the one we're going to work into. So we're going to skip this one and work in the back one over, or the forward one, and work a single crochet. And there you go. That's how we're going to start every row. Now, row 1 is calling for 11 blocks, but that breaks down to 33 double crochet. We just worked the first one, so now we need to work 32 more double crochet. But I'm going to show you how this looks by reading it in terms of blocks. So this is one block is equal to 4 double crochet. So now we need 3 more double crochet. That's going to make 1 block. 1, 2, and 3. Now with fillet crochet, the last stitch you worked is also the first stitch of your next either block or space. So this last stitch wears 2 hats. It's the last and it's the first. So this is 1 block, but since this is also the first stitch of our second block, we already count it as 1, which means each block we're only working 3 double crochet, even though 4 double crochet make a block. I hope that makes sense. So here we go, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now that is 2 full blocks. You will notice that instead of having 8 stitches, we only have 7. And that is because the one stitch acts as both beginning and end. So it, like I said, it wears 2 hats. So we want a total of 11 blocks. So that was 2. So now I don't even have to think about it. I already know that the last one I worked counts as 1. So here we go. 2, 3, and 4. That counts as my third block. Here we go. That counts as 1, 2, 3, and 4. That counts as my fourth block. So now I'm just going to work, and so you can observe, I'm only going to be adding 3 stitches at a time, but it is not technically 4, it's counted as 4. Okay, that was my fourth block. That's my fifth. That's my sixth. And that's my seventh. So I'm going to continue to work until I have 11 blocks. Okay, now our next stitch is going to be a space. And in this pattern, 1 space. Some filet crochet patterns will call for only 1 chain to make a space. This one calls for 2. 2 chain, skip 2 stitches, and in the 3rd stitch over, that makes a space. But it's technically 4 stitches, as again, the last stitch we worked is always also the 1st stitch of our next direction. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that makes 1 space. Now we have to work 16 blocks, and the repeat for the rest of this row is going to be 16 blocks, 1 space, 16 blocks, 1 space, 16 blocks, 1 space, until we get down at the end where we're going to work, after our last space, 11 blocks. Okay? So I will start working these blocks with you, and then I will leave you to it. So this was the last stitch of our space, but it's also the 1st stitch of our 16 blocks. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 1 block. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 2 blocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now if you want to count your blocks, and it's maybe a little confusing to figure out how to do that, this is how you count your blocks. Like, we'll start right here where we worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 1 block. Now we just count 3 stitches more. That's 2. Count 3 stitches more. That's 3. So that's 3 blocks. Okay? So 16 blocks, 1 space, 16 blocks, 1 space, 16 blocks, 1 space. That's the repeat for row 2. You're going to end exactly how we started. 1 space, 11 blocks. Come on back whenever you get to the end of row 2. I was 10 chains short. We're supposed to start with 376 chains, chain an extra 3, and starting in the 5th chain from the hook, work our double crochets, right? I couldn't figure out why I couldn't make my final 11 blocks. So I counted my starting chain and I had 365 stitches. So I was 10 stitches short. So now I'm redoing everything. C'est la vie, yes? Okay, I am all caught up now and ready to go. And before I had said we're going to start on row 2, we're actually going to start on row 3 because this was row 1, this was row 2 that we just did. So now time for row 3. So again, I'm going to do the stacked single crochet, and we're going to work 2 blocks and 9 spaces. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. That's 1 block. Now 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is 2 blocks, and then we do 9 spaces. So 1, chain 2, skip 2, work double crochet. That's 1 space. Skip 2, chain 2, skip 2, chain 2, skip 2 in the 3rd stitch over, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, crochet. That's 7, 8, and 9. So that is where you should be now. Did I only do 1 chain there? I surely did. Oh, I am my own worst enemy. I give myself all these little setbacks. It's our work. Okay, now we're going to work 1 block. So I'm going to work into the chains. Come on, you. 1, 2, and you don't have to work into the chains. You can work around the chains, but I think it looks better if you work into the chains. Okay, now we're going to work 16 spaces. So I will be right back after 16 spaces. Okay, 16 spaces, and now we work 1 block. So that's going to be 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space or into the 2 chains like I'm doing, and then 1 more double crochet on the end. That's 1 block. Okay, and we just repeat. So we're going to repeat this 16 spaces and 1 block all the way to the end. And when we get to the end, we're going to work 9 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, just like how we started off. We started off with 2 blocks and 9 spaces. We're going to end with 2 blocks and 9 spaces. I'll be right back. Okay, so when we are done working our repeat of 16 spaces, 1 block, we end this row with 9 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 2 blocks. So this counts as the first stitch of my first block. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, and right into the top of that stacked single crochet, and 4. There we go. Now we're going to turn with our stacked single crochet, or of course you can do the chain 3 if you're more comfortable with that, and that's perfectly fine. And we're going to work our 2 blocks plus 8 spaces, and then we will get to our repeat. So pretty much just work the single or the double crochet that you see, and that'll be your 2 blocks. And now we work 8 spaces. So basically work until here. This will be your last space. 1, 2, 3, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So don't work over this space with a space. Well, I'm probably saying this more confusing than it needs to be. Here we go. That's 1. Oops, I should be doing those looser. 2, 3. I will be right back whenever I have worked 8 spaces. Okay, 8 spaces done, 1 block unworked over. Now we are going to work 3 blocks. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to work into the chains again. 2 double crochet, 1 into each chain, and then 1 onto the end. And that's my last and my first stitch of my next block. So just 3 double crochet will complete this second block. And again, my last but also my first stitch of the next block. So 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space, and then 1 into the double crochet following, and that is 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3. And now our repeat is going to be 14 spaces and 3 blocks until you get to the end. When you get to the end, work 8 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, so 14 spaces, 3 blocks. I'll be right back. I wanted to check in really quick. This is how I just finished working my first repeat of 14 plus 3 blocks, and this is how the work should be looking. So you're, starting to work out here, and then you're 14, and then you're 3, okay? Okay, ended row 4 with the 8 spaces and 2 blocks. Let's go ahead and work our stacked singles to get up to the next row, row 5. And of course, we're going to start off with our 2 blocks. There we go. And I am literally just going to work the double crochets that are there. I'm not going to worry about counting them. And there, 2 blocks. And you can see our edge is looking really nice. Okay, now, and I may not have mentioned, but we are on row 5. So now we're going to work 7 spaces. There we go. 1, 2. I will be right back whenever I have finished working 7. Okay, now we're going to work 2 blocks, 1, 2, 1 space, and 2 blocks. So 1, 2 blocks, 1 space, 1, 2 blocks. So 1, 2, and 3, that makes 1 block, and 1, 2, and 3, that makes 2 blocks. Chain 2, skip 2, work a double, 1 space. Now 2 more blocks. 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So we have our 7 spaces, 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 12 spaces. 2, there we go, that's 1, 2, chain 2, 3. I'll be right back. Okay, 12 spaces done. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks, just like we did before. 1, 2, and 3. That makes 1 block. I will be right back. I'm going to work another block here, a space, and 1, 2 more blocks. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to work 3 spaces and 5 blocks. And I feel like you guys get the concept behind the spaces and the blocks now. So here we go. We're going to do 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3, and follow that with 5 blocks. 1, 2, and 3 makes 1 block. I'll be right back. I'm going to work 4 more blocks off camera. Okay, now we're going to work 1 space, 2 blocks, 1 space. I know it seems off. We're going to do it again over here as well. So that was 1 space. 2 blocks. 1, 2 and 3, and again 1, 2 and 3. Okay, that was 1 space, 2 blocks, now 1 space. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 1 space, and 2 blocks, just like we do right here. Okay, so that is 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks. Okay, I'll be right back. 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks. Okay, now we are going to work 12 blocks. 12 spaces. I'm so sorry, 12 spaces. There we go. 1 and 2, and I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, but just work 12 spaces in a row. Okay, 12 spaces done. Now we're going to work our 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks. Okay, there's 1 block. I'm going to work the rest off camera, but 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks. Okay, now we are going to work 6 spaces, 1 block, 5 spaces. Okay, so that's 6 spaces, 1 block, and then 5 spaces. So I will be right back. Okay, so we have 6 spaces, 1 block, 5 spaces. Okay, now I feel like we're getting to know this pattern well enough that I can give you even more direction in advance, because this is just such simple work. So now we're going to work our 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks, followed by 12 spaces. Okay, so 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks, then 12 spaces. So let's go ahead. I'll start that with you. 1, 2, and 3. That's my first block. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks, 12 spaces. Now we're going to repeat everything we just did again. So 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks, and then 12 spaces. Okay, now we're going to end this row. So end it exactly the way we started it. We're going to have 2 blocks, 1 space, 2 blocks, 7 spaces, and then end with your 2 blocks on the end. Okay? Here we go. Now on to row 7, and of course I'm going to start with my stacked single, and I really love the way it's making this edge look. There we go, and then we're just going to work our 2 blocks. Now every row isn't always going to start with 2 blocks. Here and there it's going to be changed up by 1 block, but for the most part every row will start with 2 blocks as sort of the frame, you know. There we go. Now we're going to work 1 space, 1 block, 4 spaces. Okay, so 1, that was too tight. There we go. 1 space, 1 block, 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 spaces. So I'll be right back. I'll work those off camera. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 3 spaces, 2 blocks, 10 spaces. So there we go. Now we're going to repeat everything we just did one more time. So 2 blocks, 3 spaces, 2 blocks, followed by 10 spaces. Everything we just did one more time right here. and on. Okay, then come on back. Okay, now we have just completed our second set of repeat, the 2 blocks, 3 space, 2 blocks, 10 space. Now, one more time before things change up just a little bit. We're going to work this portion here like we have been, 2 blocks, 3 spaces, and 2 blocks, and then come on back. Okay, there we go. The last repeat we just worked. Now we're going to work 4 spaces, 1 block, and 5 spaces. Okay, 1, 2, there we go. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1 space, so 1, 2, and 3 doubles. Now we work 5 spaces, 1 and 2. I'll be right back. I'll work the rest off camera. Okay, there we go. 4 spaces, 1 block, 5 spaces. Now we're going to do this again with the 2 blocks, 3 spaces, 2 blocks, then 10 spaces. So we're going to repeat that here. 2 blocks, 3 spaces, 2 blocks, 10 spaces. So 1 and 2, 2 and 3. There we go. I'll finish the rest off camera, but there we go. Okay, so we just finished our last repeat, followed by 10 spaces. Now we're going to change things up just a little bit. We're going to work 2 blocks, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. Now work 5 spaces and 5 blocks. So 5 spaces and 5 blocks. Okay, that's 1 and 2, and I will be right back. Just work your 5 spaces and your 5 blocks in a row. Okay, so now we have our 5 spaces and 5 blocks completed. Now we're going to do a lot of switching back and forth. So it's going to be 1 space, 2 blocks, nope, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Now 2 spaces, 1 and 2. 2 blocks, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have 1 space. Did I finish that one? There we go. We have 1 space, 2 blocks, 2 spaces, 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 3 spaces and 2 blocks. So here we go. That is 1, 2, and 3, followed by 2 blocks. So 1, 2, and 3, and then 1, 2, and 3. Now work 10 spaces. Okay, come on back whenever you are done working your 10 spaces. There we go, our 10 spaces done. Now we're going to end this row, end row 6, with our repeat of 2 blocks, 3 spaces, 2 blocks, and then you're going to end with 6 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, so just work your repeat one more time. That's 2 blocks, 3 spaces, 2 blocks, 6 spaces, and then 2 blocks. Then come on back. Okay, now let's work row 7. So we will start with our stacked single crochet, or a chain 3 if you prefer. There we go. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 5 spaces, and 2 blocks. 2, 3, and 4, and then 1, 2, and 3. Now 5 spaces. There we go. And I will be back. I'm going to work the rest of the 5 spaces plus 2 blocks. Your first of your 2 blocks should go into this space here, and then put your other block here. Now we will work 5 spaces, 2 blocks, and then 8 spaces. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now 2 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. And then 1, 2, and 3. Now we work 8 spaces. I'll be right back when I've completed my 8 spaces. Okay, there we go, 8 spaces done. Now work 2 blocks, 5 spaces, and 2 blocks. So we're going to start our first block here in this space. Two and 3, then 1, 2, and 3. Now work 5 spaces and then 2 more blocks. So I'll be right back. I'm going to work 5 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, there we go. 2 blocks, 5 space, 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 1 space, 3 blocks, and 1 space. There is 1 space, 3 blocks. So, oops. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that is 3 blocks and then 1 space. Okay, now we're going to work 4 blocks and 6 spaces. So I'll work the first block with you. 2 and 3. Okay, so work 3 more blocks and then follow that with 6 spaces. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. 4 blocks and 6 spaces. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 8 spaces, and 2 blocks. So here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I'm going to finish the rest off camera. So that's 2 blocks, 8 spaces, and 2 blocks. I'll be right back. And just so that you can see, this is how it is meant to be looking right now. Okay, now we're going to work 5 spaces and 2 blocks to work on this portion here. So 5 spaces, 2 blocks. 2. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 2 blocks. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Now we're going to work 3 spaces, and we're going to do a lot of back and forth. Okay, so let's work 3 spaces for now. Okay, now we are going to work 1 block, 1 space, 1 block, 1 space, 1 block. Let's just do that for now. So 1 block, 1 space, 1 block. 1, 2, and 3. 1 space. And 1 block. And 3. Okay, now we're going to work 2 spaces and 2 blocks. 1 and 2 spaces, and then 2 blocks. There is 1 and 2. Now we're going to work 5 spaces and 2 blocks. So I will be right back. I'm going to work 5 spaces and 2 blocks, but this is everything that we just did here. Okay, I will be right back. 5 spaces, 2 blocks. Okay, there we are. 5 spaces, 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 8 spaces, 2 blocks. There is 1 and 2. I will be right back. 8 spaces followed by 2 blocks. Okay, now to complete this portion here, we're going to work 5 spaces and 2 blocks. So here we go. There is 1. I'll finish the rest off camera, but 5 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, all done with that. Oops, there we go. Now we're going to work 2 spaces, 2 blocks, and 4 spaces, okay? 2 spaces, 2 blocks, and then 4 spaces. So that is 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and oops, 1, 2, and 3. Now 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work this portion, so 2 blocks, 5 spaces, and 2 blocks. 2 blocks, 5 spaces, 2 blocks. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got this portion here done. Let's finish this together. So 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 1 block, 1 space, and then 2 blocks. Okay, then we will begin row 8. Okay, now let's start row 8. And we're going to start with our 2 blocks. 2 and 3. Okay, we're going to work 1 space. And now we're going to work 5 blocks and 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to work 4 more blocks and then our 3 spaces off camera. Okay, there we go. We've got 5 blocks, 3 spaces. Now we're going to work a lot of back and forth again. So it's going to be 2 blocks, 2 spaces. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3, then 2 spaces. Okay, now we're going to work 2 blocks, 2 spaces, 2 blocks, and 2 spaces again. So I will do that off camera so I don't drive you too crazy. But 2 blocks and 2 spaces. So here's what we just worked. 2 blocks, 2 spaces, 2 blocks, and 2 spaces. Now we're going to work 4 blocks, 2 spaces, 4 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Oops. All right. 4 blocks, 2 spaces, 4 blocks. Okay, there we go. 4 blocks, 2 spaces, 4 blocks. Now we're going to work 3 spaces, 2 blocks, 6 spaces. So 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3, then 2 blocks and 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to work our 6 spaces, but I will finish that off camera. There we go. 6 spaces. Okay, there we go. This is everything we've just done. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 7 spaces, 2 blocks. 1, 2, and 3, just to complete this portion here. 2 blocks, 7 spaces, and 2 blocks. Okay, now we're going to do a lot of that little back and forth stuff. So there we have just completed this portion. Now we're going to work one block, one space, two, one block, one, forgive me, one space, one block, two spaces. So one space, one block, and then two spaces, okay, now one block, one space, one, two, and three, and then one space. Now two blocks, okay, now we've got three spaces, one block, and three space. So I'll do that off camera. I'll get the first one here with you. There's one space, so three spaces, one block, three spaces. Okay, here we go. Three spaces, one block, three spaces. Now we're going to work six spaces. Two blocks, six spaces, two blocks. So 1, 2, 3. So 2 blocks, 6 spaces, and then 2 blocks. I'll be right back. Okay, there we are there. Now moving on, we're going to work 7 spaces, 2 blocks, then 2 spaces. So 7 spaces, 2 blocks, 2 spaces. Okay, 1, 2, there we go. I will be right back. That's 7 spaces, 2 blocks, 2 spaces. Okay, there we go. 7 spaces, 2 blocks, 2 spaces. Now we're going to work 3 blocks and 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 blocks. 1, 2. 1, 2, and 3. Now 10 spaces. Okay, come back whenever you have 10 spaces done. Okay, there we go. 10 blocks, and it should look like this. Kind of a jumbled mess. This is actually a flower that's coming in down here. I'll show you the picture when we're done with our 10 rows. I'll show you the picture of what we're up to. So here we go. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 6 spaces, and 2 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. So there you go. Just work your 2 blocks, 6 spaces, and then 2 blocks. Okay, done with that. Now let's work 5 spaces. 1, 2, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1 block, 1 space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 1 space. 1 block, 1 space. 2 blocks, 4 spaces. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now 4 spaces. 1, oops, 2, 3, and 4, and then we end with our 2 blocks. I'll be right back. Now for row 9, and I already worked my stacked single. We're going to start off with 2 blocks. Okay, 2 blocks. Now let's work 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3. Now let's work 2 blocks and 2 spaces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3 plus 2 spaces. Okay, 1 block, 2 spaces, 2 blocks. 1 block, 2 spaces, and then 2 blocks. 2 spaces and 2 blocks. Let's see what we have here so far. Now we'll work 2 spaces and 2 blocks. So I will be right back. I'm just going to do that off camera. 2 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, now we're going to work 4 spaces, 2 blocks, and then 8 spaces. So there is 1 and 2. So I'll finish this off camera. One more time, that's 4 spaces, 2 blocks, and then 8 spaces. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to work 6 blocks and 4 spaces. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. So that's 6 blocks and 4 spaces. Okay, there we go. 6 blocks, 4 spaces. Now we're going to work 1 block and 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3. That's 1 block. Now 7 spaces. So I will be right back. Okay, now let's work 2 blocks, 4 spaces, and 2 blocks. Okay, there we go. 2 blocks, 4 spaces, 2 blocks. Now let's work 3 spaces, 1 block, and 5 spaces. So that's 3 spaces, 1 block, and 5 spaces. I will be right back. Okay, so here we have our 3 spaces, 1 block, 5 spaces. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 4 spaces, 2 blocks. 1, 2, and 3. Work another block, then work 4 spaces and 2 blocks. I'll be right back. Okay, so 2 blocks, 4 spaces, 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 1 space, 3 blocks, 5 spaces. So there is 1 space, then work 3 blocks and 5 spaces. I'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to work 2 blocks, 4 spaces and 2 blocks. 2 and 3. So that's 2 blocks, 4 spaces, and 2 blocks. I will be right back. 2 blocks, 4 spaces, and 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 4 spaces, 5 blocks. Okay. So 4 spaces and 5 blocks. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. 4 spaces, 5 blocks. Now we're going to work 1 space, 4 blocks, and then 2 spaces. So 1 space and 4 blocks. I'll do the rest off camera, but 1 space, 4 blocks, then 2 spaces. Now we're going to work 1 block, 3 spaces, 1 block. Almost done with this row. 2 and 3, then 3 spaces. So I'm going to work the rest of this off camera, but yes, 1 block, 3 spaces, 1 block. There we go. Now we're going to work 4 spaces, 3 blocks, and then 3 spaces. So 4 spaces, 3 blocks, and no. Okay, now we're going to end with our 2 blocks, then work your stacked single crochet or turn and work your stacked single crochet. Then we're going to start our last row for this video, row 10. Okay, so there's our 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 2 spaces, followed by 2 blocks and 1 space. So I'll be right back, work 2 blocks and 1 space. Okay, there we go. We've got our 2 blocks, 2 spaces, no, 2 space, 2 block, 1 space. Now we're going to work 2 block, 2 space, 2 block. That's 2 block, 2 space, and 2 block. I will be right back. 2, 2, and 2. 2 block, 2 space, 2 block. There we are, 2 blocks, 2 space, 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 4 space, 1 block, 1 space. So that's 4 spaces, 1 block, 1 space. 2, 3, and 4. Now 1 block, 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 space. Now we're going to work 1 block, 1 space, 3 blocks. So 1 block, oops, there we go. 1 block, 1 space, 3 blocks. I'll be right back. There we go. 1 block, 1 space, 3 blocks. Now we're going to work 3 spaces, 2 blocks, 5 spaces. Okay? 3 spaces, 2 blocks, 5 spaces. I will be right back. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 2 space, and 2 blocks, just like we did before. 1, 2, and 3. So that's 2 blocks, 2 space, 2 blocks. I will be right back. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to work 3 space, 2 blocks, 1 space. So 1, 2, 3, then work 2 blocks and 1 space. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to work 3 blocks, 2 spaces, and 2 blocks. So 3 blocks, 2 spaces, and 2 blocks. I'll be right back. 3, 2, and 2. Okay, that's how everything is starting to look now. Moving right along, let's work 2 spaces, 2 blocks, and then 1 space. 2 spaces, 1 and 2, then work 2 blocks and 1 space. Be right back. Okay, now we're going to work 4 spaces, no, 1 block, 4 spaces, 1 block. One, 2, and 3. 4 spaces. 2, 3, and 4, and 1 block. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to work 4 spaces, 2 blocks, and 2 spaces. So 4 spaces, 2 blocks, and then 2 spaces. I'll be right back. Okay, now just like we did before, we're going to work 2 blocks, 2 spaces, and 2 blocks. So 2 blocks, 2 spaces, and 2 blocks. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are, our 2 blocks, 2 spaces, 2 blocks. Now I want to point out over here, I made a little mistake in the previous row. I failed to put a stitch right here, which left me short right here. So if you come across that, all I did was add 2 stitches to 1 stitch, and that evened things out, and I had enough stitches over here to skip 2 and move on. So, you know, don't undo a whole row and a half just for 1 stitch, just kind of fudge it a little, yeah? So now we're going to work 3 spaces, 3 blocks, 1 space. So 3 spaces, 3 blocks, and 1 space. I will be right back. Okay, so here is our work so far. Now we're going to work 2 blocks, 3 spaces, and 3 blocks. So that's 2 blocks, 3 spaces, and 3 blocks. So I will be right back. Okay, now we're going to work, there we go with that, by the way. So now we're going to work 9 spaces and 2 blocks. Okay, 9 spaces and 2 blocks. There we go. I will be right back. We're almost done with this row. So our 9 spaces and 2 blocks. Now we're going to work 2 spaces, 2 blocks, and 2 spaces like we've done before. So 2 spaces, 2 blocks, 2 spaces. Be right back. Okay, now we're going to work, oh, there we go. Now we're going to work 1 block, 1 space, 1 block, 2 spaces, 1 block, 3 spaces, it's 1, 2, and 3, 2 blocks, 2 spaces, and 2 blocks. So 2 blocks, 2 spaces, and end with 2 blocks. I'll be right back. Okay, there you go. 2 blocks, 2 spaces, 2 blocks. Now let's look at what we have done so far. This is the point in the pattern where we are at. This is our first 10 rows. So just a reminder of what this gorgeous thing looks like that we are making. It'll be worth it. So yes, row 10 right here. And you can see these are like, before I said it was a flower. It's more like an ivy leaf. And these are like ivy vines through the lattice or the trellis. Yes, beautiful leaves, and yeah. So while sometimes it seems a little weird and a little chaotic because we have 2, then 1, then 1, then 1, then 4, it's because of this. We're drawing a picture. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so that was it, the first 10 rows. Thank you so much for watching the video and hanging out with me while we worked through this. And if you do get the pattern and you do make this, be it a bedspread or a wall hanging, a pillowcase, a curtain, whatever the case may be, please use the email that is in the description box below this video and send me a picture of your finished work with expressed permission that I can share it on our community tab so we can all enjoy your beautiful work, okay? Because I would love to see how your guys' turn out. How absolutely stunning is this? I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.